Let's talk about Mr. Elon Musk.
Oh, my gosh.
From CNBC, Elon Musk says he will pay over $11 billion in taxes this year. Did you see the Babylon Bee interview they did with him?
I did. I saw a little bit of it where the guys sitting around interviewing him were so cringe, actually. They're like, we don't even know why we're talking to you, guy. I was like, bro, he's there. He agreed. You just need to ask questions with confidence. But I didn't see all
guys
of it.
are cool dudes.
Yeah.
But
they seem
Elon, come
starstruck.
on the show, man.
Maybe a little, yeah.
I tweeted at Elon once. He tweeted at me. We're friends.
Now you're
God.
friends.
No, I'm kidding.
And together, you guys
he
are
did-
going to pay $12 billion in taxes this year.
That's right. So I'm disappointed in this. I think Elon should not have done this.
Why not?
He did it to make a point and to try and defang, people like Elizabeth Warren, which, okay, I suppose is still a good thing. Here's what I think happened. They've been saying people who are wealthy should pay taxes on their wealth, the wealth tax. So Elon Musk was like, okay, should I liquidate my stock and then pay taxes on it? And people were like, do it. He said, okay, I will. So he ends up giving the government $11 billion in taxes, which empowers really awful people to make a point. I suppose. In that,
That's a very expensive point.
kind of
I think it's
He's
so
worth- he's worth-
expensive that you
Bro,
might
bro.
want to think that there's a different motive there.
I gotta
Maybe
say,
he's been waiting to liquidate those assets, and this gave him a good reason to do it,
Yep.
etc. You never know. You never know when he's making tweets about crypto market.
I don't think he cares about the money.
You know,
There's
well,
a certain amount of money where you don't care.
but to him, money means Mars. Money means space. Money means advancing the universe. Just like you tell me, Tim, you tell me you're not all about the money. What you're all about is building new things, creating new opportunities, starting these nonprofits, having a serious impact on the world. You're a philanthropist already. He's a philanthropist and somebody who's working towards the betterment of society, I believe.
Sure. So what I was going to say in the Babylon Bee interview, he talks about how he came to be worth so much money and the richest person in the world. And he said he doesn't have the money. He started a company. He owns, I think, what does he own? 20% of the stock or something. And he's like, I own 20% of the stock in a company. The investors decided the company was worth $1 trillion, so my stock is worth $200 billion. I didn't do anything. I don't have any money. They've just decided that. And now we get Elizabeth Warren being like, he's not paying any taxes because she is a despicable person.
Because she knows.
She sold out Bernie Sanders, and they still. She
understands the difference between paper investment gains and actual earned income.
Yep.
She knows the difference between these things. Did the bill pass that had the clause in it that said that we were going to be taxed on unrealized capital gains?
I don't think so.
I haven't heard any more about
Because
that.
the bill that says that you're going to be taxed on your mileage driven, that did pass.
Yeah.
That did pass. There's provision in there to create a pilot program to test out the best way to tax people on their mileage driven. And the number that they were tossing around was insane. It was something like 8 cents a mile. That's like $2,000 a year for the average person.
Elon basically is coming out now saying, I've paid more taxes than any other person in history, and Elizabeth Warren doesn't pay taxes. But she'll still keep lying because these people are evil. And Elon Musk did this to make a point, but it doesn't matter, dude.
There's a very interesting analysis to be made of where is it for the betterment of society that the government now has that 11 billion, or if Elon Musk had that 11 billion?
So the Young Turks had on Ari the Rugged Man to capitalize.
After?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and Cenk was like looking at the camera constantly, like just trying to bait me into a drama thing.
Oh my
God! I don't think like he knows
That's
at all who I
hilarious.
am or whatever. But so what I decided to do is I had so many people saying like, "You don't need to prove anything, Tim. You don't need to respond to them." And I'm like, "No, hold on." So the Rugged Man comes on the show and he says, "My experience has never happened. I'm lying." And I'm like, I just find it really funny that like they admit and acknowledge I am mixed race. They admit and acknowledge he is a white man, and that they agree with him when he laughs at someone who says I'm mixed race and I experience racism. I want that narrative to persist. I'm glad the Young Turks made that video.
God, those guys are so trashy.
So I did a video with my sister, and I put it up at 1 p.m. on youtube.com/Timcast News, 40 minutes long, where we basically talk about our childhood, growing up, and why I wanted to address the Young Turks. And I didn't do it to prove any point necessarily like to them. I don't need the Young Turks to believe me. I need you to believe me. What I mean by this is when the Young Turks come out and they say Tim Pool lied and made all this stuff up, there will be people watching saying, yeah, I wonder if he really did lie and make that stuff up. and I'll say, okay, I will have my sister on, and we will talk about everything we've been through, as embarrassing as it is for my family and whatever people end up thinking about us, because I'm telling you the truth. And I want people to then look at the Young Turks and see how they're despicable racists. And I want them to look at me and my family and say, these people are talking about the true struggles they've been through. The reason I bring that up is because when people started commenting and saying, like, you don't need to prove anything to them, they are 100% correct. I didn't do it to prove anything to the Young Turks. I did it so regular people can see it. I kind of feel like Elon might be doing some of that to sort of like let people know he's not that guy, you know, to use the meme. He's not the dude who's going to exploit everybody and take all this money, and that he's more interested in going to space, and it just so happens he has this money. I do kind of feel like part of it, though, was to prove a point to the Democrats, and he gave the government money, which he didn't need to do. He did not need to sell billions of dollars in stock and then pay the government all this money. He could have just kept it in stock and said, I have no reason to take the money out.
I mean, if he's paying $11 billion in taxes, how much did he liquidate and how much did he end up in his pocket? I mean, you got to sell a lot of stock to pay $11 billion in taxes.
$11 billion in taxes.
What, 20%, right? 20% capital gains, or is it a little bit higher?
Yeah, I think it's 28 because it might be higher than that. It might be way higher than that because of Biden. It might actually be like 40 or something, some ridiculous.
So he netted a good bit.
Yo, people need to understand what $1 billion is.
It's 1,000 millions. It's crazy.
You would not be able to spend it. I'm not exaggerating. You would not be able to spend it. People don't get this, man. There was this thread about...
Well, it depends on what you're doing, right? Because that new Tesla factory apparently is like some 10,000 football fields in size. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I think it's something as insane as that, right?
I don't think you'd be able to spend it.
As an individual consumer. Yeah.
As an individual. So if you as a business are seeking to build a factory that's 1,000 football fields or whatever, there's going to be the logistics in that is going to be way beyond one person making a purchase.
Right.
This is going to be a massive undertaking of different companies and different CEOs. An individual would not be able to spend that money. Elon Musk liquidating this money, he's probably shrugging, saying, I don't know.
Right.
Because, bro, a super yacht, what do those go for? Like 30 million or something? 30 million. So what, you got 970 million left? It's like, I guess you can buy 10 of them, but then you got to maintain them. Like, it's just, there's a certain amount of wealth where you're sitting there confused as to what you're even doing with
it. Well, you have to hire people to figure out how to spend it.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
You hire people to figure out how to manage it. You hire people to figure out how to spend it. And then you hire people to figure out how to defend it and then where to invest it. This is where the idea of a family office comes in. These people literally have to hire folks to manage their money. For philanthropy eventually, right?
I suppose. I feel like when you're at the point where Elon's at, I wonder, why doesn't Elon take $1 billion and say, who wants to start a media organization to go after the fake news and the liars?
Well, I mean, isn't he? I know Peter Thiel at least has used some of his money to his foundation, which is for education, which is to produce new entrepreneurs. So they're giving pieces back. I think maybe they have different priorities. They have different priorities in terms of what their philanthropy can do and how it can affect the world. These are smart guys making calculated decisions. There's no question about that.
If I had $1 billion, I would know exactly how to begin allocating things towards solving a lot of these problems. And so I suppose it's as simple as Elon Musk wants to go to Mars. He has a different perspective on what the problems are, and that's something his company has to do. But my point is, to be someone like Elon and know they're lying, know the media lies all the time, and to have the ability to effectively snap your fingers and challenge that machine.
But he can already do that with Twitter and social media.
No, he can't. Look, how much did Bezos buy the Washington Post for? A couple $100 million?
Yeah, peanuts, basically.
Peanuts? Well, I mean, relative to his net worth.
Yeah.
Elon Musk could be like, I could fund that 3 times over and set up 3 Washington Post operations that'll operate indefinitely. The Guardian operates off an endowment. They just generate interest off of all the money they have that helps fund everything. Elon Musk could literally be like, okay, here's $1 billion towards the Babylon Bee guys. Hey, people who are challenging the machine. You guys make jokes about it all day. Figure it out.
Maybe he doesn't see it as a problem like you do. Maybe it's just not on his radar. Maybe he's being more efficient with his capital allocation. Who knows? Maybe you just can't be everything to everybody. Why am I over here carrying water for Elon Musk? I
think he's cool, dude. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't think he's perfect. I think he does a lot of dumb stuff, but I think he's a good dude. And I think he's genuine. He wants to try and he wants to be honest. That's why he's giving away all this. That's why he liquidated these assets and is paying the billions in taxes.
You know what I liked about the
That's why he
fact
sold his
that he
homes.
did the Babylon Bee interview? He's like, oh, well, I read all your stuff. Right? It's not like he needs to go on the show to sell anything or to pimp anything or whatever, you know, but he goes on the show because he's like, he quoted back to them their own headlines.
Mm-hmm. I know.
And they're like, wow, the one guy was like, wow, you know our content better than we do. And that's just hilarious to me. It really was actually humanizing. Maybe he did it just for fun, but maybe it's the same reason that Northrop Grumman puts advertisements on Hulu, just so that we all just get accustomed to thinking Northrop Grumman is a good thing. Because I'm not buying F-16s. I don't know about
Someone super chatted, if I had Elon's money, Gundams would be real and functional.
Yeah.
Do you know what a Gundam is?
A Gundam?
A Gundam.
Is that like a gun kingdom?
It's a gigantic robot. Like from an anime.
Oh, okay.
And the pilots are in gigantic mechanized, giant robots.
Like Voltron kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yes, I tweeted at Elon Musk, why haven't you built an Iron Man suit yet?
Yeah.
And he responded, building Starship. And then I said, that is an acceptable response. That is acceptable. Okay.
That's cool.
Because my point was basically like, why aren't you going crazy? Like you're an eccentric dude. Why aren't you just being like, because it is time.
Work, dude, work. Work is life.
Yo,
and if you're that guy, or if you're
do?
me, or if you're somebody else who's working 9 to 5, work is life. Get up, work hard, be tired. That is the key to success
I get it.
and
Bro,
happiness.
if I had $1 billion, you know what I would do? I would hire a prank monkey like Mr. Burns. You ever see that Simpsons episode where he hires Homer as his prank monkey?
No.
And then
snort.
And then he's like, Homer, splash Lenny, and then he does, and then Mr. Burns laughs, and then Homer splashes Carl, and he goes, good God, man, that's Carl. And then he helps Carl to the chemical wash. You know what I would do? I'd hire a prank monkey. What would their job be? I'd be like, I want you to just culture jam. Buy billboards.
Culture jam.
Buy commercials. Do things that shock people out of their routine. I want someone driving down Sunset Boulevard to see like a billboard that is confusing as confusing can be. Just weird, disruptive, confusing stuff. Just kind of like to shake society by the shoulders and be like, this is nuts. You know what I would do if I had $1 billion? I would buy every billboard in Times Square and say vaccine mandates are wrong.
That's an interesting thing to consider.
It doesn't cost that much money.
Would they sell them to you, knowing that that's what you were going to say?
Didn't Veritas have one?
Did they?
Yeah, they did, I think.
Project Veritas, did they get a Times Square thing? Let me see if I
remember. I do remember they had a billboard. I don't know if it was...
Did you see the funding that they achieved for this fiscal?
$22 million.
Bro, that is a good chunk of change. That is a lot of operatives in the field.
Yeah, Veritas had a Times Square billboard.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, COVID, gangbusters with the ratings.
Yep. Twitter banned us. They can't ban the truth.
Yeah. Money talks, baby.
That's
maybe some of them wouldn't, but you could do so much
That's interesting.
to change the world for the better if you had this money, and they don't do it.
But you, sir, are doing it bit by bit with what you've got.
They do it.
Do.
And they do all over it. Mackenzie Bezos put in billions of dollars into critical race theory.
Right.
Yeah, it's just, the problem is...
Even Jack.
Yep, that's right. He funded that academy or something.
Jack Dorsey funded Ibrahim Kendi.
Yep.
To the tune of millions and millions and millions of dollars.
And
that means Jack Dorsey is on the wrong side. Jack Dorsey's evil. Jack Dorsey is trying to lead America off the cliff.
He's trying. Well, I think what you basically have is a really dumb guy who's...
Jack?
Yeah. Who's like leading people towards their destruction, thinking he's helping them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
don't mean like... I guess it's a little bit too blunt.
Dumb guy. Come on.
Ignorant.
There you go. Big difference.
That's what I was saying. A little too lowbrow, a little too blunt.
Right.
I think in a lot of ways he's a smart dude. He started Twitter and he started Square, and they're very successful. Square is one of the most successful financial processing companies.
Yeah.
But to be as blind and ignorant in politics and to fund this evil, like, come on. Dumb might be a little blunt, but it's a little emotional too.
Yeah.
Where's Peter Thiel and Elon Musk doing the inverse? Elon Musk goes on the Babylon Bee. Okay, Elon, dude, give the Babylon Bee guys like $100 million.
I think Peter does a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Sure.
I think so. He funds things. He pushes agendas. I think he's more savvy in this regard than Jack for sure. But you know,
Elon Musk give the Babylon Bee $100 million.
But look, we're suffering from the same problem that a lot of people have, which is like, why won't that guy do something? The thing is that you're already doing something.
I'm doing it.
I'm not diminishing.
I just
what
don't
you're
have $1
doing.
billion.
I'm doing what I can do. Everybody needs to do what they can do. They have to do their little part. They have to do their medium part. They have to do their big part. And we can't just sit around and be like, well, why doesn't the trillionaire do it? And that's not you, and that's not me, and that's not the people that we know. But I just, I think it's very easy for people to take the position of like, well, why isn't he doing it? When is the savior going to come? When is the daddy figure going to come fix everything for us? You have to, as Ronald Reagan said, all meaningful change, positive change in America starts at the dining room table.
I get it.
And that's where we have to start.
I agree. But what I mean is, so we're certainly doing stuff. We've got 2 foundations. We've got the Technology Foundation, which is the On Foundation, which is building tech. We've got an alpha that's in production, which will create a decentralized social media system. It will effectively give everyone a snap of a finger subscription website that interlinks with other websites, so you'll never be banned. That you go on Patreon, you can get banned. You go on Locals, you can get banned. You go to any one of these platforms, you can get banned. If you own the space, if you own the domains and own all that, they have to ban you one at a time. The domain host has to remove your domain. The server company has to kick you off the servers. All of those things have to have your cloud, storage. If you have all of these decentralized, it's harder to remove you. And you can even own the servers in your own home. That's the one thing we're doing. We also have the Truth and Media Foundation, which is going to be a fact-checking website. And we are going to fact-check all of these deceptive and manipulative news articles. They say, oh, we're trying to stop misinformation. We're like, well, we're going to do that. We're actually going to do it. And we're going to track and we're going to label these companies. That's something that I can do, and it's not easy to do. It's been very expensive. Filing all this stuff, dedicating all the hours to doing the paperwork, to running 2 different nonprofits.
It's massive.
And
it's daunting.
I don't have $1 billion.
No.
This is what I'm saying. As this company grows and more people become members at timcast.com and support our work, those funds are being allocated towards expanding the work we do. So like, what's the expense that we have? Like we have all these members, we're making money. I'm building a production facility in West Virginia that's going to do multiple things. One of the reasons why I want to do West Virginia, freedom. One of the other reasons I want to do West Virginia, I want to bring good jobs to the area. I want to help people in the area. I want to improve the economy. And West Virginia is one of the poorest states in the country. So I thought this is an excellent opportunity because you've got good land, you've got good people, you've got freedom, we've got people who share values, and we can empower this in more ways than just having a news company. One of the ways to empower our ideals is to make sure there are good jobs and a good economy for the people who agree with us on our ideals. So for every dollar I put in to this area, that dollar goes to a contractor who lays concrete. He spends that dollar at the local burger shop for lunch. The burger shop then gets to hire a contractor to fix their building. All of that stays and circulates in that economy, and I want to bring that economy out here.
That's awesome, Tim. I remember on our very first time when I was the first guest on the show back in February 2020, I brought up my dream of building a village, 80 acres with a river, with a canal through it. That's all you need. You could put tens of thousands of people there. And dude, kudos to you for like really pushing that ball forward. We've been looking at land in West Virginia and Southwestern Virginia and trying to move things forward. My timeline is a little slower than yours because of my kids and proximity and all that. But
there's
nice work, bro.
There's like 100 acres for like $300,000.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like for the average person they can just snap their fingers and do it, but if you can get the loan to mortgage the property.
My issue isn't like the act of acquiring the land. It's like, is it time for me to start tilling the land? Right. Because I've got young kids and we've got kids in school and I'm tied to the area and I want to be with them. I'm hugely invested in their lives and being there every single day. It's just not time for me to move to West Virginia and start tilling the land in every which way, in the info way and building things and such. But it is where I want to be. And my background's in real estate development too. So like it's just like right in my wheelhouse. And I can't wait.
To kind of put a bow on what we were talking about, my main point is, we do not have the level of resources anywhere near 99% of even other media companies. Like, you look at some of these traditional media outlets, Fox News, they have a skyscraper. They have all of this money. What are they really doing? They just rolled out a vax mandate for all of their employees. And people are like, but New York's making them do it. Oh, BS. Fox News could say, screw off, we got more lawyers than you do. Come at us. And the city would be like, ugh, are we going to go to war with Fox? Fox doesn't care. Fox bends the knee. So when I'm pushing the limit as hard as possible, you know what I could be doing? And what everyone tells me I should be doing? When we have money come in profits, they're like, you got to put it away. You got to hire a money manager, invest for your future, Tim, invest for your future, because you're not going to work forever. And I'm like, I want to invest in things that are going to have a long-standing impact for everyone. So, when we build this building, this facility, I'll say the improvements we do on it, for actually this building, for instance, that we have a loan on it, of course. The improvements we've done on it have made it less likely to be sold.
Yeah, of course. You put in a skate park in the basement.
Well, we want to be exciting. We want to inspire young people.
Yeah.
We want to make it a fun, cool place to be. Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to watch live, you can check out this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you want more unfiltered and uncensored content with all of these guests, go to timcast.com and become a member. All of these guests you know and love in exclusive segments on our website where we are unrestricted in what we talk about, so you'll definitely not want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all next time.